Well, hey, what is going on?
Hey there.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas week, right? Even though Christmas is on Friday, the whole week of Christmas is a time of giving and celebration, isn't it?
Giving and celebration.
I've been hanging out with a 3 and 6-year-old, and that's what they've been telling me all day. So,
you got to learn, Mr. Lockhart, giving and celebration.
Yeah. It's just where I'm at. It's just where I'm at. So, hey, welcome everybody. Lewis, what's going on? Jared, my man, what is happening? For everybody out there, listen right away. You need to know. Right? Stop what you're doing. Tune in. Logan, what's going on? Right? Listen to what I'm about to say. We are giving away free stuff on this call. Is that you? You got some music in the background?
Oh.
We're giving away free stuff on this call. We're going to have some other folks stopping in. And so if you want free stuff on this call over the next 20 or 30 minutes, right, here's what I'm about to say. Okay. Number one, you have a chance, right? If you are in Legal Shield and you're like, hey, I want to make sure I'm at the next convention. It's $100 to get registered. You're going to get a free ticket potentially on this call. If you have not received your Young Pro shirt, now this is a large, you can win one of these shirts on this call. In addition, we have a major Young Pro event after the first of the year. And how would you like to be featured on that call? And we're not stopping there. This is an infomercial, right? We're looking to feature your story on the Young Pro Instagram. And so we're going to be giving away those 4 items. So make sure, right? If you have a team member, you're like, I need to make sure they're at convention, get them here right now. If you're like, hey, I need to make sure that they're at the kickoff in January for the Young Pros, get them here right now. I'm going to give you some directions in a second of what you need to do and what they need to do to get in the drawing. And literally, let me get up my handy dandy action day planner, because that's what we use around here in these streets to tally up. And so Jared B, if I can, Mr. President, I might need to call on you. So it's 6 o'clock Eastern time. It's what, 3 o'clock your time?
3 o'clock Western.
It's
Pacific Standard.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So you got anything in your cup?
I didn't know, and I would have totally prepared for this.
Oh, Elizabeth.
The benefits of working from home.
Carla,
sir.
what's going on? So is anybody celebrating 5 o'clock? That's what I want to know. If you're celebrating 5 o'clock in the chat, hit me with what's going on in your world. So we're gonna come back to that, but today we're gonna be talking about you're setting up your best year ever, right? We got about a week left in 2020. For some people, that's like, oh man. For some people, that's like, yay. It's all over the map, right? This year's been crazy. But we want to make sure that everybody, especially the Young Pros, are having a great 2021, and we want to make sure you get set up right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so what's up, Kevin? Naked Juice, as good as it gets. I'm not, Carla. I don't know anything about Naked Juice. That sounds like
Naked Juice is delicious.
You know that's a thing.
Yeah, Naked Juice is totally a thing. It's like they like juicing, kind of like smoothie, kind of like Adwala.
Oh, okay.
You know what Adwala is?
Nope.
All right, I'm with you, sis.
Okay. So
I know what it is. Way to be healthy, girlfriend. That's a good thing to have in your cup.
All natural. I get it. All right. So we're going to jump into it. So the first thing that you can do for our friends on YouTube, if you can go to our YouTube page at youngproshowcase.com. If you're hanging out on Facebook, I'm going to give you some directions. But if you're already on YouTube, I see Logan, I see Carla, I see some other folks on there. Be sure, if you have not, one way to get into the entry right now is to subscribe on the YouTube channel and like the video. Very simple. Hit subscribe, smash the like button, boom, you're in. right? We're gonna tally it up. So so best year ever. So talk to me. I mean, we've both been doing this for a minute. Do you do any end of the year planning?
I do. And
I'm
the
gonna have a little
process,
sip and drink here.
man, I'm gonna have to get up and participate, not gonna lie.
It's the Young Pro Showcase.
It's the Young Pro Showcase. You know you want to be a young pro, you know.
Ooh, we
right?
should have somebody we should give away like a spot in that video.
We really should.
So we need to redo one. Yeah.
That would be super dope.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I got you off track.
Guys, here's the deal. Preparing for the beginning of your next year starts right now. Like, don't wait to start. You cannot wait to start. The reason why is because once you get into the year to plan, it's too late. Like, you have to have already kind of set your gears in motion. It's almost like if you're a track runner, you got to put your feet in the blocks. You know what I mean? I don't know what it's called. I ran track and now I can't think of it, but put your booty in the air, right? You know what I mean? And then the gun fires, right?
Like you just don't care.
But if you are like, the gun has fired and you're putting your feet in the blocks, you're too late. You're losing, right? So there are a few things that I do personally to get ready for the new year. And the first and foremost, is reflection, right? You got to spend at least an hour just really thinking about, okay, what was it that I wanted at the top of the year? And how close did I get to it? Or did I even start? And give yourself some grace. Like, you're still here. You know what I mean? Don't be hard on yourself. But you have to know, or what did I not like about this year? Or what do I want to achieve more? Where can I grow? Things like that. Like, just have a good moment with yourself. Pat yourself on the back for the little wins. Sometimes the way you start setting yourself up is really by looking at those little wins. Like, you know what? This year, every single month, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 months, I paid my car note on time. How cool, right? My phone bill came out on auto payment and I didn't overdraft on my phone bill not one time. Like, I know that seems stupid, but like, when we're young pros, we're figuring out this adulting thing, and adulting sucks. And so sometimes we're shooting for the moon, right? And, sometimes we're landing on a star. Sometimes we're landing right back here on Earth, but we need to at least congratulate ourselves for landing, right? So definitely spending time, patting yourself on the back for the little wins, right? Literally reflecting with yourself and looking in the mirror and saying, hey, what did I want? What could I have done better? All of that kind of stuff, right?
So I like it. I like it. Making a win list.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's like, hey, I got my credit score over 700, or, whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
We can make a list of stuff.
The key is that the wins are not usually that big, right? So because the wins are not usually that big, you also have to pat yourself on the back for the small wins. You may not have lost the weight that you wanted to lose, but maybe you got a dog and now you walk around the block every day. That is me.
Well,
right? Little things.
Mr. Martavius, someone jump on. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, little wins. I've had some big wins in 2020. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I finally put my order form in. I'm feeling so proud of myself.
Well,
you're looking big.
Your hand is heavy,
okay, well,
bruh.
put it in there. Let me see.
Your hand is heavy, bruh.
Okay, I see you went with the silver. Okay, give us the side. Come on,
yeah.
Side.
All right.
Okay. Put your year in there to 50K. There she is, Lady of Justice, looking classy.
So there it is. Martavius just hopped on to gloat.
Just a little bit.
Hey, Mr. Hellman, tell me about how Mr. Lockhart did not prepare us for this Young Pro Showcase. Show him your glass, Mr. Lockhart. Show him.
I saw that while you was talking about wins, and I said, well, we must be celebrating something.
Yeah, we're celebrating.
I can tell you something.
We're celebrating you getting your ring.
So listen, Mr. Lockhart is the MVP of my state, so I always come prepared. I'm just
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Yeah. All right. So before we move on, so we just gave, so for YouTube, you could subscribe to YouTube, get in our drawing today. If for anybody that I know, we have a bunch of folks that are watching right now that are already subscribed to the YouTube. So here's your second thing that you can do. If you are not following the Young Pro Instagram page, do that. That's going to be at @LS_YoungPro. All right, and maybe JB, if you can throw that down, the other JB. That is not this JB, Mr. President, if you could throw that down. So at @LS_YoungPro, follow the page, and then you will actually see a video of Miss Vanna Black here that we just put out, and it was amazing. And if you will tag somebody in her post, then we can count that. We'll get you in the drawing. Okay.
Tag someone that's not following Young Pro, so don't tag me.
Yeah, don't tag Martavius. Somebody did that last time.
Here's the cool thing, though. Those of you guys who are ready to launch your business, right now during the holidays and stuff, we're filling our funnel. And so if you're getting people who are saying, oh, it's the holidays, hit me next year, things like that, right? This is a good way for you to tag maybe a friend or something, because it doesn't say Legal Shield this, Legal Shield that. We're just a clique of young pros who are killing it in entrepreneurialism, right? So you're just tagging your friends that you may want to prospect, things like that. And when you tag them, now you can introduce, right, what Legal Shield is and da-da-da-da. So it's a good, easy, light open to prospecting. Look at how amazing my fiance is.
Hey. Elizabeth, I don't know. My wife got this some kind of little whiskey drink from Michigan. I'm not even sure. So
How about this?
Okay.
I think I got a treat for everyone. So I heard that we're giving away a convention ticket.
Yep.
Is that true?
That is true.
So I'm going to bring in someone that got me to my very first convention ticket. My very first convention, because I thought I couldn't afford it, right? I was like, man, I can't afford to go. And this gentleman told me, he said, you can't afford not to go. So I'm going to bring in this gentleman to just tell you why convention is so important.
Do we need a
wow.
I was going to say, this Young Pro Showcase, do we need to check his driver's license?
Wow.
What's going on?
What's going on, sis?
How are you?
Man, I am excited. I just delivered a 50K ring to Martavius Hillman, earning 50,000 plus in the last 12 months on a part-time basis during a pandemic. Where they do that at?
You delivered it. Come on, guys. Talk about leadership.
Where they do that at? Hey, but let's talk about this conference. So here's why you guys got to be registered for this convention. It was done to me, and I pray it's done to you. So I got recruited on March 29th. The convention was on April 4th or 5th, and I was working 60 hours a week, and I didn't have any time off. And my mentor said to me, he says, Mr. Edwards, you got to go to this conference. I says, I can't. He says, if you don't, you won't be successful, because all the successful people go to the conference. I was like, well, let me figure out a way. I cashed in some days, had to swap with my assistant and give up a week of my personal time for him to cover for me. But I tell you what that did. It allowed me to see bigger than my sponsor. It allowed me to see bigger than myself. See, when people, here's what you got to understand about the conference. It inoculates you. Like right now, we're all waiting for this COVID-19 vaccine, right? Why? Because if you don't get it, you could probably get sick. Worse off, you could probably die. Well, it's the same thing with your Legal Shield business. If you don't go to the conference, you got to go and get that vaccine. What do I mean by that? It's the conference that says that you get to see all the attorneys in person. It's the conference where you get to see the person that looks just like you walking across the stage, getting their 50,000, 100,000, being inducted into the Millionaires Club, right? So when I got back home, even though I was only a week or two into business, and people said to me things like, man, $24 for an attorney? They don't have no real attorneys. I can say, aha, you don't know, I've been inoculated. I just saw all of my attorneys in person. Like I watched 65 different law firms walk across the stage, 4 attorney generals. You know what an attorney general's job is? To shut down illegal businesses. and 4 of them were practicing attorneys for Legal Shield. You may say things like, well, it's only for those people. Because I saw these people go across the stage too. It's not for women. No, I saw women go across. I'm handicapped. No, I saw someone come across the wheelchair talking about her $50,000 ring. So I don't care what disease is out there that's going to kill your business. The conference will inoculate you. The conference is the vaccine that you need to make sure you understand that you are now safe to do business with Legal Shield, and nothing can stop you from hitting your goal because you're fully vaccinated. You know all the promotions, right? You know all the attorneys. You've seen every law firm. You know what the strategy is because you were there to get the information. But here's what you want to do. Just like with the vaccine, if you don't take it, and you get together with your team because you said, I'm going to go get the information and I'm going to come back and tell you all about it. You all get together and someone in the room is still not vaccinated and they kill your whole team. So the only way to prevent the spread of the death of your business is to make sure that everyone gets the vaccine. Inoculate the whole team by getting them to the conference. Get the whole team shot up.
Somebody just said that's some real talk right there.
That's some real thing. Shoot them up with the promotions. Shoot them up with the right way to do the business. Shoot them up with their provider law firm. Shoot them up with the testimonies that relate to them and their lives. Because here's what you're thinking. I can fix their problem. No. What Tiffany Sullivan needed to see, I could not give her. What Martavius needed to see, I could not give him. What Nikita Tucker needed to see, I couldn't give her. What Farrah Shelley needed to see, I didn't know what strain of the virus she had.
She didn't actually have a virus. He's just making an analogy. We're just pointing that out.
So I'm just saying there are different strains in business that shut people down.
Right.
You don't know what it is. But what I do know, the conference has the cure. Get your people to the cure and watch your business grow. And then you'll be breaking ringer after ringer and delivering rings.
Whoa.
Like rings. You know what I'm saying?
On, man.
Just rings.
What? He's that whole meme where the guy has like all the rings on.
That's right.
Coming here swagging.
Oh, I am so excited for you all. Here's why I'm excited for you all. Because you guys are the young generation. You're the next level of leadership. Like, we've done this. I've been around this. I'm 17 years in. But guess what, guys? You guys will be millionaires long before I even thought of being a millionaire. By the time you get to my age, you'll be like the legend panel and multi-billionaires. We're going to have to come up with a billionaire ring. We're going to have a billionaire club.
I received that. Come on.
By the time you guys get to my age, it's going to be the billionaires club.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
All I ask is you all come visit me and take me out once a week.
Hey, drinks on me in Mexico, brother.
Got it, man. You all have an amazing day. Love you all. Be good.
Yeah, go.
Appreciate you.
Everybody go check out Mr. Edwards. I put his Instagram in the chat so you can get that daily motivation. He's always on there. It's in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. That's going to be Alistair.Edwards on the IG. Welcome back, Mr. Ring Earner. The other Mr. Ring Earner.
Hand delivered. Look at that.
Hand delivered. Man, so if you haven't, right, after that, if you haven't followed either the YouTube channel or Instagram and then tag somebody in Miss Joslynn Brown's post, definitely do that. And I got a running list right here. So you definitely want to make sure that you get in there, giving away free tickets. We're giving away Young Pro shirts. You get to be on our kickoff event. Like, I mean, I don't know. We might even give you Martavius a spot.
I mean, it's up for grabs. From what I heard, 2021.
That's right.
No.
So to bring it back, we're talking about how to get your year started right. So we have number one, do a little reflecting, make a win list. I would add on to that, right? What are some areas of improvement? And if you're like, well, I don't know, I did everything perfectly. Well, you need to spend a little longer thinking about that, or go to your version of Mr. Edwards in your life and say, hey, where can I improve on? right? I was working with somebody earlier this week. I actually had them record themselves when they were talking to a prospect and send that to me, so we could watch film together, right?
I love that.
So that's number one. Number two is over the next week, right? If you want to get started right, you don't start on the first. You start now, and you fill your funnel, right? You got to go out and get busy. There's gonna be all those people that are like, oh, maybe later, maybe after the first. That's fine, right? You got to make money next month too. You can't make it all this week, right?
Relationships.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, you got something to throw in here, Martavius? What when you had your best year ever? I don't know if it's this year, right? What was something
year?
Right, I know. Did you do any thinking at the start of the year of like, okay, what is going to make this year different than last year?
I did, and
or maybe you've had thoughts.
I would be.
What are you going to do to make next year better than this year?
Yeah, okay. I'll tell both if you don't mind. Give me 30 seconds. Start the clock. No, listen.
Take 45. Take 45.
Take 45. Okay. So last year, right? Most people know my story. Last year, November, December, literally made $400 in 2 months. January, I made $3,000. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little choppy.
We're good?
Start over.
Yeah. Start over.
Okay. How about now? Okay. So I was saying, most people know last year, November, December, I made about $400 between the 2 months. And then January, I made $3,000, right?
Part-time.
So what changed between
Part-time.
November, December? Part-time. Very, 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 very part-time. Because my son was also born in January. Anyway, so so what changed? I'd be remiss if I didn't give the shout out to Mr. Humes for saying, never let your income outgrow your personal development. And I realized that one of the reasons why my income wasn't growing is because I wasn't growing personally, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew going into this year that I was going to grow myself personally before I tried to grow my income, right? I'm so glad I did, because 3 months in trying to grow me, a pandemic hit, and my business changed. It changed drastically. I was so used to going in doing employee benefits that I had to switch and go to networking, because there was no more employee benefits for, in person. And I was brand new. I wasn't even a year in. So I didn't know about the virtual, right? So now let's fast forward to now, one of the best year in the company, right? For me, and honestly, for the company too, we're breaking records. I want to throw that out. We're breaking records during the pandemic. Why? Because people need our services, and two, people realize that secured income is no longer secured. I'm sorry, but let's jump back into my thought process today, right?
Okay.
My thought process today is, and when I jumped in, I heard Ms. Brown saying this. I can't wait till January 1st for 2021 to be the best year. I can't, right? Because here's the thing. We're creating habits starting today. So if you're creating a habit of sitting on the couch waiting, guess what's going to happen January 1st? You're going to sit on the couch waiting for Super Bowl to pass. Then once Super Bowl passes, you're going to sit on the couch and wait for Valentine's Day to pass. Then once Valentine's Day passes, you're going to sit on the couch and wait for St. Patrick's Day. It's always going to be another. So create the habit today. Man, the best analogy I heard was the airplane analogy. They take off down the runway, they get to cruising altitude, and then they cruise. They don't cruise down the runway and then take off once they get into the air.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way, right?
So I like this, right? I'm listening and I'm thinking. So for everybody out there, if you're watching right now, here's just one very practical thing, right? As I'm listening to him say, right? Who wants to be better at their social media game? Type me in the chat. If you want to be better in 2020 in social media, right? You're like, type me. Okay.
I can't type me.
You can't type me. You can't type me. Only the ones that want to be better. And I guess you don't want to be better, because if you wanted to be better, you'd have your phone. Darn it. All right. So here's the thing. I would write out a list of habits, like he's saying, that you want to be better at, right? So if it's social media, then you need to create a new habit. You don't need inspiration to write the most the best quote, the most inspirational, you don't need a new iPhone 12 to take a good picture, right? What you need is a habit, i.e. a schedule of posting, right? So if you have an action day planner like Jared B and me, right? you write in there, you know what I mean? 9:00, make a post, right? Tuesday at 4, make a post, or maybe just start a podcast Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern every single week. And, that could be something, right? So just get a schedule. Yes.
Can I clarify? Because I see people type in be better, be better, be better, right? We're not saying that you got to be better, 99% better than where you was yesterday. You just got to be 1% better. Right?
So,
1%
okay.
better.
So I agree with you, but what does 1% better mean? I hear the saying, if you're 1% better, 365, that's 360. Okay. Like, I get it. It sounds cool, but what does that actually mean?
Okay, let's do it this way then. We're talking about social media, correct?
Yep.
And you said create the habit of posting.
Right.
So if you're not in the habit of posting, and now you get in the habit of posting, that's 1% better. We're not telling you that you got to be better at posting, you got to be better at content, you got to be better at commenting, you just got to be better at creating a habit of posting. That's 1% better. Now, once you get that 1% and you consistent on it, 90 days, right? We know it takes 90 days to build a habit. Don't argue with me. I know it's other ways out there that say 30 days and whatever, right? 90 days to build a habit. You build a habit, now you get 1% better on commenting on somebody else's post. You already done built the habit of posting on a daily basis. Now you're building a habit of commenting. That's 1%. Yeah. We're not telling you that you got to master social media over the next 90 days. We say you just got to get 1% better. Hopefully that answered your question, Mr. Lockhart.
No, it did. It did. A lot of times we hear stuff and we're like, ooh, that's good. What's good? Like I remember going to, conventions and writing stuff down. Somebody like a Mr. Edwards would say some super slick one-liner. And I'm like, oh man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm going to write that one down. And I was like, well, what the hell does that mean though? Like it sounds good, but like you're going to go back and apply it. And I'm like 1% better, be 1% better. If I was going to be 1% better today, what would I do? Well, if I'm making no post, maybe I'll make one post. You know what I mean? So yeah, make a list of habits. What are some habits that you would like to be better at? So we got some good stuff here. I'm going to throw one. You mentioned, I don't know, one of you guys mentioned it without mentioning it. I'm going to put a name to it, is your identity. Okay. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is this. I'm going to give you a book that I've been listening to all week. It's an old school book, but it's good stuff. If you're somebody like I have somebody on my team and they're of, I don't want to, if they see this, I don't want to single them out. They're of a certain age and they think because of their circumstances that they might not be able to have the success that they would like to have. Right. So that's in their mind. Right. And so if you have limiting beliefs, maybe like one I had when I was 23, I literally thought that everyone around me that I would see in the office, that I would see places, that they had life figured out because they looked the part, right? They had the suit, they had the Beamer, right? They had the big house, they had the quote unquote dream life that I, from the outside looking in, I thought they had. Now I didn't know it. The Beamer was getting repoed, the house was in foreclosure, and they were getting divorced because they were a big cheating a-hole. I didn't know that. Right? I just thought, well, they have it better than me. So my identity was telling me.
Man, I've so been there.
Yeah. So my identity was telling me, right? Well, I can't go approach people like that because they're not on they're way above my level. And so a book I'm reading, and if anybody's read this, let me know. I'm gonna say, I bet Kevin Shorett has read this book. It's The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. It's an old school book, but it's like it's dropping gems. And he was just talking about that, right? As your identity increases, if you're somebody that's used to making like sometimes we say, oh man, making $100,000 is so difficult. Well, if you're used to it, it's not difficult. If you've never done it, maybe it is difficult, right? So you want to increase that, right? Work on your identity. Oh, that's what you said, Martavius. You said working on yourself, personal development. And again, that's kind of one of those things we say, working on ourselves. Well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Well, you know, we say reading books. Okay. Tell which book? Well, here's a book for you.
Well, here's the thing, and it's not about reading the book.
Yeah,
I've been reading books since I was 16. I'm so grateful for my mom for putting me in that. I didn't read Harry Potter, right? When I grew up, I didn't read 50 Shades of Grey. My mom made me read Slight Edge when I was 16 years old.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Disclaimer, this is the Young Pros channel. Okay, disclaimer.
If I hear any deep
fun here,
if I hear any deep bass in the background.
When I was 16, my mom made me read Slight Edge.
Joshua Lockhart.
Then she put me in front of The Richest Man in Babylon, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing. So I've been reading since I was 16 years old, these type of books. But it took this year for me to implement what I read. So personal development is not about reading books. It's not about what you're listening to. Now, I'm a firm believer, yes, you got to put in the positivity, right? What you put in is what you output, right? But the truth is, if you're listening to it and you're reading and you're not actually implementing, right? I can remember, right? Mr. Thompson said this.
Carla says, "Pay your mama."
I need to. I do. She's taken care of. Anyway, no. I can remember Don Thompson said this, and I wish I could go and get my notes because I know exactly what notebook it's in. But he said, if you have a 5 in this and a 6 in this and a 3 in this and a 4 in this and a 7 in this, but you got a 0 in implementation, you got a 0. You can be great at everything, meaning you can listen to all the podcasts, you can listen to all the positivity, you can read all the books, but if you don't implement what you're listening to and what you're reading, you're at a 0. Right. Don't mute out my baby. But yeah, no,
hand check,
messing with Diamond Bow. No, so no, man. So I mean, Mr. Lockhart, thank you so much for this. You know, thank you so much for this because, like you said, we do take so many good notes, and then we go back and we like, well, what did it mean?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I got a couple notebooks from them. I would write stuff down, and then 3 years later, something would hit me. Like I would be doing the business, right? I would encounter a situation, and then I'd be like, oh, that's what that, you know, like all the sayings, you know, get 1% better. Like we all understand the words of what that means, but you might not get it, right? It's kind of like you're listening, but you ain't hearing me, kind of like that. And he's gone, right? But so real quick, we got one.
The internet got him.
Yeah, the internet got. We got one more for everybody on right now. If you have not, right, when you get you in the drawing, we're gonna give away a free convention ticket. Somebody's gonna win this Young Pro shirt. We have a kickoff in January. We want to feature you. We want to feature your story on our Instagram page. So if you have not, you can do one of about 3 things. You can either follow the Instagram page at ls_youngpro. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel at youngproshowcase.com. Or if you already have done both of those, go to Miss Joslynn Brown's post. It's the 3rd post on the Instagram page where she is throwing down, sharing her story, and just tag somebody in that post. We're going to tally those up, and somebody's going to walk away. We're going to give away several things, so right? So, you know, I think it's going to be good. Somebody's going to win a bunch of stuff. So we got reflect. You know, make a win list. What could you do better? You know, take the next week, really fill your funnel, your prospect funnel, right? Your identity, right? Read, listen, get around people that push you, right? So Mr. Hillman's hanging around with Mr. Edwards right now, promise guaranteed for sure. Just by hanging around him, he is getting better, right? So who are some people that you can get around that are just going to stretch you? It could be the young pros, right? So maybe you want to come hang out with us tomorrow, Wednesday, on our training call. Right. So you want to do that. Come hang out with
our
us.
Training calls are a whole bop. Like, even if you haven't joined Young Pros yet, you haven't, you know, decided to operate as an entrepreneur just yet or launch your business, you got to jump on just so you can see what the party is like, the type of powerhouse Young Pros you're going to be around. Guys, we have people who are 19, 20, doing it big. We have people who are just doing so many incredible things, and you want to be around those types of associations. Like Wednesday, it's lit.
So actually tomorrow we're gonna actually complete this list. So we can't actually give you number 5. Number 5 is going to happen on the training call. So that's going to be at youngpros2020.com. In addition to, right, we're going to announce the winners on the call tomorrow, right? So we got to tally them up. I got a short tally, but I need to go back and tally up everything from this call. So if you're on the call tomorrow night, that's when you're going to pick up your swag or your ticket or whatever the case may be. But it's going to be at youngpros2020.com. But I will say number 4, right? We talked about a few things, but one thing that you really, I would actually write this down. So, you know, whether you're in sales, you're in Legal Shield, anything where you have to go out and gain a customer of some sort, right? It's one thing to say, well, we'll go talk to people. And you're like, oh, where do I go to talk to people? I don't know. People are everywhere. They're in person, they're online, right? But you got to have a strategy.
Right? Because without it, you're like,
yeah, you're sitting there at your desk and you're like,
a confused mind does nothing.
And then you start going, well, you know, I gotta get my pens in order, right? You can't have a sloppy
Post-its color coordinated.
You can't have a sloppy desk. And I'm sitting here like, okay.
Drink my water. I gotta be hydrated.
Right.
Get my calendar together.
Yeah. I got collar stays. Look. These are like metal collars. Do you know what a collar stay is?
Yeah, I used to tailor men's suits.
Did you really?
Of course I know what collar stays are. As a matter of fact, sir, I will say, hello guys, this is my dog Juice. He's not happy I'm on a live. Here's what I will say, collar stay person. If you guys are into collar stays and collared shirts, there is collar stays that you put in and there's a magnet that goes. So like Mr. Lockout, how you have your collar popped right now, it would be sharp, like ha. Right? Because you put the little magnet in there and it sits up high. Don't say I never gave you a piece of advice or taught you anything.
I like it.
Back.
So anyway, back to the strategy, right? What is going to be your strategy for going out and meeting more people, right? Is it going to be a Facebook strategy or you use Instagram? Are you going to do more networking? Like, what are you going to do, right? And that kind of goes back to the habits. Right. Do you have a strategy, Ms. Brown? I mean, you don't have to say what your strategy is if you don't want to.
Well, I would say if you feel like it's all overwhelming, break it up into categories, right? So where do I want to set habits? And you're like, oh, I know all these habits I want to set, right? And now you're a little confused. Sometimes, you got to take little bites, little nibbles. And so break it down into things like my relationship, right? My business, my finances, right? How I pay bills, my, fitness, health and wealth, my spiritual life, right? Break it down into those 5 things and then add it in. And you can set one goal for each thing so you don't overwhelm yourself. And then you can say, what's one habit that I can implement daily or weekly, right? That'll help this thing. And that way you don't feel overwhelmed. You have 5 new things that you need to do that you can put into your calendar or easily set 5 new alarms for and keep it really simple. Guys, again, you want to celebrate the little wins as you're growing because creating the little wins for a habit, you'll see in March, right? By the end of the first quarter, you're going to be saying, okay, I got this stuff down. And guess what? It's going to be like the 12-week year. You're literally, if you've never read that book, you should go check it out, the 12-week year. But you're literally going to be like, okay, now I can kind of edge up a little bit. I was working out once a week. Now I can work out 3 times a week because I'm feeling it, right? So that's what I would share. I
like what Jason says, getting out of my comfort zone. That's a good one. Or it's like, okay, well, hey, Jason, how are you going to do that? What's the first step? Not all the steps, right? You don't have to become like super extrovert, jumping in people's face, but like, what's the first step? Maybe it's it could be as simple as like, talking to somebody you already know about what you do, right? Sometimes they're the worst ones. It's like, oh man, I'm not calling my uncle. Like that guy's
practicing your Zoom presentation with your aunt who already knows what you do, but she'll keep it real with you.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's really
baby
good.
Steps.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Awesome. This is good stuff. Position myself. Fact. Okay. Well, cool, guys. So yeah, make your list, right? Reflect. Hey, what are some of the wins? What are areas of improvement? right? Take the next week. Don't stop. Don't wait for the first, right? Let's fill your funnel, right? Get some people to tell you, I'm not ready. Call me after the first. If you don't have enough of those people, how are you supposed to, do business on the first, second, and third, right? You got to get some people to tell you, no, not right now. That's it. So when they say that, you're like, yes, I'm going to eat next month. All right. Work on your identity. Work on
to sell a membership another day.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
That's great. Look at this, Mr. Jeff Bell. Listen. Now that we have him here, Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell.
We have been wanting to reach out to you. We have a kickoff on January 9th, and we would love it if if you, sir, would make a cameo appearance. And so if you guys would like to see Mr. Bell on the January 9th kickoff, make a cameo appearance in the chat, just put Mr. Bell. And if we can get enough of those, I bet we can convince him. I'm calling him out, to be fair, and he's the CEO. So I could get in trouble, but Mr. Bell.
But we want you, sir. We want
Mr. Bell. Incredible.
Bell.
There we go. I'm far from you. He's wearing a Halo hoodie. My man, he's the Halo guy. I'm pretty sure I kept Microsoft in business from all the Halo that I played in college. I mean, it was a bit much. It was excessive. All right, guys. Well, hey, tomorrow night, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right? If you want to be on the list, if you want to win some swag, win a ticket, be there or be square, youngpros2020.com. And next Tuesday, right, you want to be back right here because it is the last Young Pro Showcase of 2020. All right, it might be like Friends, right? Remember the last episode of Friends? If anybody, you have to be an old Young Pro for that one, though.
I mean, Friends is like making a comeback and people are watching the reruns. Kind of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Girlfriends.
Yeah, it's still around. It's still good.
It's a thing.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see you next week. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.